Hello, this is Gregory Wilson with WeddingSpeechMaster.com with some voice projection techniques. Have you ever been asked to speak up when ordering food, asking a question in school, or when giving a report at work? I've been asked this question many times, and it can be a bit embarrassing. A lack of a loud voice can be caused by one of many things, including chronic shallow breathing, an introverted personality, lack of lung power, or hearing your voice as louder than it really is. Voice projection is the act of making your voice louder so that everyone in the room can hear you clearly. There are well-developed techniques that can help you prepare to speak at events such as weddings and other social gatherings. Technique number 1, long-range conversation. Find a large room such as a gymnasium and have you and a friend stand at opposite corners of the room. Attempt to engage in normal conversation with your friend so that both parties can clearly hear each other. At first it will sound like you're yelling at one another. Try to control your voice so that it sounds like you're speaking normally, but louder. Yelling at a crowd of people is not ideal, which is why this exercise helps to eliminate the quirk. Try talking at different pitches, high and low, and feel free to make funny sounds to practice using your voice. Have your friend give feedback on the quality of the conversation. My voice always sounds different to me when played back on a recorder, which is why feedback can help you to find problems that you didn't see before. Consider recording the conversation for personal evaluation later. It's very likely that you believe your voice to be louder than it really is. After all, your mouth is about 3 inches away from your ears, so it's going to sound louder to you. To correct this error, have the friend give you a loudness rating at different distances, such as 5, 10, and 20 feet away. Since speaking requires the direct use of airflow, it's important to breathe deeply to create a reservoir of air to work with. A car won't get anywhere on an empty tank of fuel, just like we can't speak loudly if we don't fill up our lungs with air. Take the time during the speech to consciously inhale deeply to fill the lungs. Many people ask, if I'm speaking non-stop, when is there time to take a large breath? Human conversation is structured with sentences, topics, and paragraphs. Your chance to take a breath can happen during these transitions. Take your breath every few sentences if needed, but try to complete a thought before doing so. If you have index card cues, a breath can be made when flipping to the next card. When you breathe in a shallow manner, your vocal cords sound strained. It's only when the lungs are filled that the vocal cords can relax. You may not know that the lungs are larger at the bottom than the top, which is why it pays to let the stomach expand on each breath. This allows them to fill to their full capacity. Avoid breathing solely out of the chest. Connecting with the audience. When I first started giving speeches, I sounded robotic because I wasn't connecting with the people around me. In fact, I entered a zone in my head where I was trying to remember and recite all of the ideas. This caused me to disconnect with the people. Remember that crowds are people too. There are real, dynamic, and engaged individuals in the crowd that want to listen to what you have to say. Looking eye to eye with them makes them feel like you appreciate their attention. Walking casually around the stage while using gestures and hand motions helps them to feel comfortable with you. By talking to the audience and not at them, you will project your voice farther because you will care about how well they can hear you. Think of them as friends instead of strangers. Articulation. What is this big word, articulation? Good articulation involves putting more energy into the use of the tongue, lips, and facial muscles to produce clear and succinct words. Honestly, the digital communication age has made many of us lazy when it comes to communicating in a professional manner. To articulate properly, one must move their speech away from the throat and into the area of the face that resonates the voice. It's the sinus cavity, mouth, and cheekbones that allow your voice to be projected across great distances. It works similarly to a subwoofer in a home entertainment system. The hollow cavities of air within the face take the sound and amplify it. To make use of this gift, picture your mouth and throat as a giant resonator. Imagine them to be so large that they engulf the entire room. Put energy into the muscles of the tongue and lips, and use facial expressions along with your verbal emphasis and inflection. This has been Gregory Wilson with some tips and tricks on articulation and connecting with the audience. For more speech tips, please visit wettingspeechmaster.com.